In 4 days, I visited Copenhagen, Oslo, London, and Dublin, seeing most of the major sites and somehow managing to visit not one, not two, but 6 Christmas markets. This was an insane trip, and I can't wait to show you possibly the most whirlwind tour of Europe ever. Let's get started. And the first Christmas market that we're going to be visiting today is in Copenhagen. Also, real quick, if you're a regular viewer, you probably noticed that my hair is a lot shorter than usual. It's because I got a terrible haircut that I will never be repeating. But anyway, we're here in Copenhagen. It is about 5 p.m. and we're going to be going to Nytorv, or however you pronounce that, and going to like the Hans Christensen Christmas market, and there's a bunch of others around here. And so let's go to my first European Christmas market. Throughout this video, I'll also be rating each Christmas market based on the overall vibe and then the lights and decorations, each on a scale of 1 to 10. And at the end of the video, I'll give you the full ranking of my favorite Christmas markets based on this little score. We've made it to our first Christmas market. First impressions, it's so cute and it smells so good. I'm actually starving. I've been flying all day and I have not eaten in a long time. So hopefully we'll be able to find something to eat and maybe rate it. But first, let's go over to the Christmas tree. I know. Okay, the smells are just getting even more tantalizing. But what I really like is that we can walk past all the stalls and nobody's trying to like aggressively sell us what they're selling. We can just walk and look and they just smile at us or ignore us. They don't have to sell us what they have. This is so nice. After wishing I could try some of the more traditional things at the Christmas market, like glühwein, we decided to leave and go look for food because we were starving. After walking for what felt like way too long and passing this very impressive European building, we found a delicious pizza place for dinner. After stopping by a cute canal, we headed back to the hotel and fell asleep within about 5 seconds. And we are back from the Christmas market. It was super cute, and I have nothing to like base it off of, but if I were to rate it, the vibes would be like a 6 out of 10 because it was okay. And then the lights were 7 out of 10, and the decorations are included in the lights. But it was pretty cool. Like it was my first experience of a European Christmas market. And now it's actually the next morning. We have a couple hours here in Copenhagen, so we're going to go to the King's Gardens, and then today we're flying up to Oslo, where we're going to visit another Christmas market tonight. So let's store our luggage and then go to the King's Garden and see what that's about, and then we'll head to the Copenhagen airport. Also, if you're enjoying this video and you enjoyed travel, I'd love it if you'd subscribe. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers and eventually 8 billion, so it would be awesome if you do that. Well, we changed our plans a little and we came out to the beach. I don't even know what sea this looks out on, but there's a huge offshore windmill farm, and I've heard that Denmark is very famous for their windmills in the ocean. Really cool. Now we're gonna go to the garden. Well, we waited like 7 minutes for the train, and so now we're just gonna go back to the hotel because our flight leaves. We have to be to the airport pretty soon, so we need to just go back and get back our bags, and we don't really have time to do anything else. So let's go to the airport to catch our next flight to Oslo. This flight to Oslo was on SAS, and by the way, I'll be making all of these airline experiences into shorts, which I'll link in the description below. But this flight was short, it was only about an hour, fairly comfortable, and then we landed in the very, very foggy Oslo. Okay, we have made it to Oslo. It is extremely foggy here. And now we're on the train. We're going to be taking it, I think it's about 30 minutes into the city center. And then we'll go to our hotel. But hopefully we're able to see some stuff on this train ride because I think it would be really pretty. And after a little bit of a hassle getting here through public transport, we're at our hotel, And so far we're already liking Oslo a lot better than Copenhagen. And so tonight we're gonna go out to another Christmas market. It's the main one in downtown Oslo, and then see a couple more things. I'm not really positive what we'll get done tonight, but hopefully it'll be lots of fun. So let's go. We have made it to the Christmas market, the Julie Vinterland, and first impressions, we haven't even gone in, but it's looking a lot better than Copenhagen. We'll see. Fair. So far the vibes are so much better than Copenhagen. There's music playing and there's so many shops to look at. This is so cool. A lot better if I do have to say so myself. After buying some fudge, we decided to head out on the rest of the town, and our first stop was, well, you'll never believe it, but it was IKEA. We have finished with the Christmas market, and I'll give you my rating later, but for now, we have taken a train and are now at the Royal Palace. Okay, the palace is actually really cool. There were some guards outside doing their marches. It's a definite recommend, and now we're going to the pier on the water. We're gonna see what that looks like, and then we'll probably head back to our Airbnb and grab some dinner. Oh my. After walking around the pier for quite a while and looking for somewhere to eat, we landed on the best burger place of my entire life. This was so good. Then we headed back to our hotel, and also, if this video is feeling a little fast-paced, it's because it is. We barely had any time in each of these cities and wanted to make the most of it, even in the dark, so we had to visit as much as possible in as little time as possible. Okay, that Christmas market in Oslo was amazing, honestly. So much better than Copenhagen. I'd give it probably a 9 out of 10 for the lights and decorations. It was so Christmassy, and then the vibe was a 7 out of 10. And it's only a 7 because it felt a little like a fair. There were rides and stuff, and it felt like a fair, but Christmassy, which is not bad, but it wasn't like complete Christmas market. And now it's the next morning, and it's starting to get light now that it's about 8:30 or so, because the sunrise is at 9. And this morning we are going to go to the botanical gardens, and then I think the plan is today is to fly out to London, where we'll spend another day and see another Christmas market. So first let's go get breakfast at a bakery and then head to the botanical gardens.
Sorry.
Okay, we have made it to the gardens, and they're actually really pretty. I think it would be a lot prettier in the summer, obviously, but there are some green trees and greenhouses. Fortunately, every exhibit and stuff is closed until 10, and we're already running for on time, so we're just gonna kind of rush through this without looking at really anything except the natural landscapes, and then head back and get ready to go to the airport. We are on the train. My mom is currently booking a hotel for London, and as you can see, we're riding backwards, which will be an experience, but I've done it for 3 hours on Amtrak, so it can't be that bad. This train is a lot nicer than the one we took to here. And now, yeah, we got about 25 minutes to the airport, where we'll kind of have to rush to catch our flight to London. Well, this train was super nice because it was actually the wrong one. Even though it did take us to the airport, it wasn't covered by our public transport passes, and we had to pay even more since we had accidentally taken it. But we got to our SAS flight and boarded the plane for London. After eating some cold pizza from Copenhagen and drinking my free coffee, we got to London, where we took a double-decker bus to our hotel. And we have made it to London. It's about 3:20, and unfortunately we do have to wait 20 to 40 minutes for our room to be ready, which means we can't get out on the town as early as we wanted, and the sun's gonna set soon because it's December 6th. But it's fine, I have some hot chocolate here. I'm just chilling, we're chilling, and we're planning our route for tonight, which will involve Buckingham Palace, Big Ben, and some Christmas markets. So hopefully we can get to our room and get going soon. Okay, and now we are in the city. I know you can't really see me, but the first stop on our itinerary is the Buckingham Palace. It is very dark outside because it's nighttime, but we're gonna try to get all the sights in. And a Christmas market. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, Buckingham Palace was cool. To be honest, kind of smelled like urine, but very touristy. Yay. Now we're going to Big Ben and the London Eye, and we're also jaywalking. See you there. After walking for about 30 minutes, we made it to Big Ben, which was right next to Westminster Hall, and also the London Eye. It is raining, and it is so busy, but so far this has been really cool to see all the extremely famous sights. And now we're going to the South Bank Winter Market, which will be our first Christmas market here in London. Yeah. Okay, that Christmas market was insanely busy, and it mainly focused on food. Vibes were like a 6 out of 10. It was just so busy, and then the lights were 5 out of 10 because there was like a light ceiling, but other than that, it wasn't that great. What was it?
Meh.
I kind of agree. But we're gonna go and check out another Christmas market, maybe find somewhere to eat, because we're both starving. Catch you later. And we have reached a random Christmas market. The vibes are approximately 2 out of 10, all due to the rap music playing. What? Not even Christmas. The lights are 7 out of 10. It's pretty cute, actually. All the ceilings, or not the ceilings, the roofs have lights on them. We're still walking around looking for food. We're both getting hungrier and hungrier, and everything is muy expensive. After walking for literally a couple miles and starving our stomachs into almost non-existence, we finally decided on a Japanese food place, which was super filling and really good. And after that delicious meal, which was so dang expensive, unfortunately, we're now walking to the London Bridge, which will be our last attraction for the night, and then we'll also see a Christmas market down there as well. But we gotta walk about a mile or more. So let's walk off the fat we ate. Well, we made it to the London Bridge, and then we look across the water, and approximately a far way away is the actual London Bridge, which is called the Tower Bridge, which we did not know and did not think about because we're dumb Americans. And so now we're walking another 17 minutes, another mile and a half to the Tower Bridge. Sorry. Okay, we've been walking forever and we're in pain, but we're almost to the Copenhagen Christmas market. Yeah, this better be amazing. Well, this is not a Christmas market, but if it were, the lights and decor would be 9 out of 10. Super cool, lots of decorations, and the vibes would be 6 out of 10 because lots of chatter, good stuff is happening. Okay, we're gonna go to Trafalgar Square Christmas Market now. On our way to the Trafalgar Christmas Market, we stopped by this crazy super hype party. We then walked across the street to the Trafalgar Square Christmas Market, which was probably the most well-known Christmas market we visited here in London. It was super cute, but also extremely busy, and since both my mom and I were really tired of crowds and walking at this point, we took about an hour and a half of public transportation back to our hotel. Well guys, I was very tired and rambling in this clip, so I'll just kind of tell you what I mostly said here. Basically, the Christmas market was pretty good. It felt a little more touristy than the other ones we've been to, so it got a 5 out of 10 for the vibe, and the lights were pretty cute, so they got a 6 out of 10. And then I said we were going to have about 2 hours here at the hotel before we headed to the airport. So after chilling for just a little bit, we got on our bus and then headed to London Heathrow Terminal 5 for our British Airways flight over to Dublin, the final city we visit on this crazy European adventure. After landing in Dublin, we got on a double-decker bus and took about an hour into the city. And after a pretty good flight and then a very long bus ride, we have made it to Dublin, and there are a couple things we want to see here, including like a prison and the castle, and then our final Christmas market of the entire video. So I know we're both very hungry right now, so we might either go get dinner or just head out and get started on seeing things before it's nighttime and we have to go to bed. So let's go and do something. After walking for quite a while, we finally landed on a super cute fish and chips place, which was very heartening for our hungry little tummies. Okay, we found a very cool place to eat dinner. We had fish and chips, which was pretty good. And now we are headed to search for the first Christmas market. We saw it on our bus ride in, but we don't know exactly where it is. Let's go try and find it. After walking for quite a while, we could not find the Christmas market, but there were very cute streets. So we headed to the other Christmas market, the main one that we wanted to visit in Dublin. It was super cool and quite the happening place, but it was in a pretty narrow square with tall buildings on both sides, so it felt a little confined. But it was still super cool and the lights were super cute. Well, we did not find the small Christmas market, but we did find the main one, which is called Twinkle Town. It was pretty cool. It felt a little like a fair. There were rides and stuff like that and a Ferris wheel, but I would give the vibe like a 7 out of 10. There was music and stuff. The lights weren't awesome, so I would give them, like just like this lighting, I would give them like a 4 out of 10. So stick around for the final ranking of all of the Christmas markets, but for now we're going to the Dublin Castle. It turns out we accidentally stumbled on Christ Church Cathedral, which is one of the things we were hoping to do here. So we're just looking at it. It's very cool and Gothic and monolithic and other adjectives that make me sound smart. But now we're going to head to Dublin Castle, which I think will finish off our time here in Dublin with a bang. And Dublin Castle pretty much concludes our whirlwind trip of 4 cities and a lot of Christmas markets in Europe. This was amazing. Thank you if you made it here for watching. Maybe subscribe if you want to. And here is the ranking of all the Christmas markets we visited. See you in the next one.